Ah, Masha, summertime, the best time of the year.
It is the best time of the year. And what are your plans?
Lying on the beach, doing nothing, as always.
Lying on the beach. Sounds great, but doing nothing. Maybe you could do something for your brain.
Oh, I'd love to, but how?
You're lucky. The Thinking Out Loud podcast are running TOL Unplugged this summer.
Oh, that sounds cool. What is it?
Basically, it's a series of meetups for their fans. So, thinking out loud style conversations, but no stress because they're not being recorded.
Wow, that sounds cool. And you know what? We invite all of you to join us this summer at tolpodcast.com/summer. See you there.
See you there.
Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations in English, but not about English. My name is Jendrek,
My name's Basha.
and we are two English teachers
Who think that it's their mission to make you believe that you can speak English. I'll never forget, the comment I got once from my student. Um, after when I was teaching groups at that time, and she completed the course, and even maybe half a year later, she texted me that, thank you very much because you made me realize that I can speak English. It was, the most precious feedback.
So what were you doing actually during the classes?
That's I spent a lot of time thinking, what was it that I actually did? So and it's interesting because when you don't know, you think, well, can I like repeat it? Can I make it a product or something like this? Honestly, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think this is the mystery of it all. That is how little is sometimes necessary to instill this self-confidence in people, right?
Yeah.
This linguistic self-confidence, and at
Maybe
the
you just
same
need to
time,
believe
how
in them. That's it. And it shows.
yeah,
It
for sure.
always.
I
Mm.
I, I think I think this is the way I work always. I believe in people no matter their initial level.
Yeah.
When they start, I believe that speaking English, any foreign language, it's absolutely possible. And yeah, it's I think this is my starting point. I mean, this belief. Some people may say it's blind, but I believe in people, in my students. And no matter what I do later, I think it's kind of, it's showing, it manifests itself in what I do, in my approach, in everything. But at the same time, there is no like, structured way to, to make it happen, to make people believe in themselves.
Yeah,
And
how can I don't know, you can create a course to teach teachers, how to teach so that people have this confidence in themselves. Because
no, it will.
why such a feedback? I believe that, I mean, her previous experience, learning English was very
Mhm.
different, probably. That's why, she decided to, give this explicit, feedback that she
Yeah.
maybe other teacher, I don't know what her experience was, but probably she didn't feel the same way. She gave up on herself or somebody gave up on her or something like that.
Or I don't know, she wasn't given maybe freedom to basically to speak, or in other words, to build the language, because everything maybe was, I assume everything was structured like, because if people
But
tell
at that
you,
time I was working for a school. You need to understand that. So it was
okay,
not
so
like,
you were still
yeah,
like doing
yeah,
this, school thing,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is textbooks and
Yes,
so on.
the syllabus.
All right.
So
Well, that's interesting. So it's a proof that it's the personality that is working, and who knows, maybe even this belief. in people.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
you can
So
even take a course book and turn it into, a confidence boost, something like that.
confidence
I don't know.
booster.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Booster.
So
I don't know.
Masha, you should have said, at the beginning, and we are two English teachers who believe in you. That's,
Yes. Yeah.
that's the point. Yeah, we do. All right. Great. So wait a second. Before we move on to the thinking out loud proper and our fantastic guest today, let us remind people about some basic website addresses, right? First of all, it's tolpodcast.com where you can find us and the information about us. I decided honestly not to repeat myself, every time, but there is of course a lot of useful links there, including the voicemail. People still waiting. We are still waiting for someone else than Maciek, to record themselves. Okay, great. Then there's also Buy Me a Coffee, a service that allows you to express your gratitude about this show.
If you
All
feel
right,
any,
so
of course, no pressure.
yeah, great.
Oh, by the way, how
And
does you say that we're two English teachers who believe in you and all this confidence, and where does the thinking out loud come in?
you mean like a tool for boosting self-confidence?
Is it?
I guess it is. I mean, at least for those who take part in it, for sure. I mean, that's the feedback I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you have in mind?
So it's not only we record this, every week, not only to give people something to listen to. Some people even doubt that it's good listening material,
Yeah.
but but there is another thing. Yeah, if we invite people, we give them, like we say, give them a voice, and you
Yeah.
don't have to be perfect. You
Of
don't have
course not.
to get to other shows. Maybe you
I
have
think
to be
what
an expert at something, or you have to be, I don't
I
know, an
think I'll
expert.
tell you what I think it's different. If it's a conversation class and it's a school class,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything is about the language, right? How you build that. But in our case, we just invite people as guests here, people who everybody very often forgets that are simply interesting people. People who have something to say, who have some unique insights. And we just this show is all about the meaning. It's all about the message and not about the language, right?
And
And
people
of
we
course, you
invite,
use
they are not
language.
experts. We're not interviewing them about this or that, right?
Yeah, I know we had some Twitter exchanges that I guess a lot of confusion results from the fact that people think, I mean, people who are new to the show, they think this is going to be an interview with someone, but it's rather a conversation with all its charms. That is, sometimes we drift away and I know talk about something else than we were supposed to, but that's the nature of conversations, right? And on top of that, we don't invite experts, like you said. That's why
Yeah.
these are not interviews, because if you have an expert on I know nuclear fission, then I guess you just ask certain specific questions, and interviews are packed with knowledge, right? We are
Yeah.
not. I mean, our conversations are light, and if there's any knowledge that we, let's say, distribute here, it's rather in the amount that is edible, that you can find here and there some pieces. But it's just like conversation, right? Conversation is not packed with information,
Yeah.
but it's there's a lot around it,
Okay.
and a lot of natural language, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, great. So Masha, how about
Our guest.
we move on? Yeah, exactly. Our guest, our special guest today, a very special guest. It's my former student, whom I last saw, I guess, 3 years ago. And she's a fantastic person in the first place that professionally deals with PR in healthcare. But I think that, she's not about PR. She's not obsessed about PR and talking all about PR, but she knows a lot. She's a fantastic person to talk to, basically.
But she's not here as an expert. Yes.
And she's not here
Yeah.
as an expert. She's
Yeah.
here as herself, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, say hi to Aga. Hi, Aga.
Hi, Jędrek.
Hi, hello. Do you girls know each other?
No.
Masha,
It's
do you
the
know
first time
Aga?
when we see each other.
All right, but did you talk before I joined?
A little
Or
bit.
no?
Couple of
All right.
seconds, yeah.
All right. So Masha, this is Aga. Aga, this is Masha.
Yeah, we established
And-
that I'm in Kiev and Naga is in Warsaw.
Yes,
All right,
exactly.
yes. And I am in a small town called Manosque in Provence, where I have lived for what? For the past 7 years, I guess, or 6 years. I came in 2016, so you do the math. All right. So, Aga, how are you doing? Tell us. And how is your life on the scale from 1 to 10?
Oh, I think it's 8
Oh,
right
it's a
now.
solid 8.
Yes,
All right.
because I'm in the middle of a long weekend.
You're right. Okay, that
It's a long
impacts.
weekend.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah, it's a long weekend in Poland.
4 days free.
There is, there is a long weekend. We had a lot of long weekends in May, so I guess that's why France, does not celebrate Corpus Christi, which is the reason for the long holiday in Poland.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, we are recording this, by the way, on Friday, the 9th of June. So just to, situate this in the context. All right, great. So, Aga, you say it's a strong 8 your life, but how would you rate the condition of the world from 1 to 10?
Oh my God, much difficult question, and that will be much lower number.
Much lower score. What
unfortunately.
score? Come on. I know it's
Okay,
super
I
abstract, but
think it's maybe 4.
4. So like the world is not in its
It's not
best
doing
shape.
great.
It's not doing great, unfortunately. It's a difficult situation and more difficult situation in every week, I think, in the world. And we have a lot of bad news every day. So it's nothing positive right now.
You said that your personal life has a high score partially because of the long weekend, but if we switched off the media, do you think the score for the world would be higher? If you switch
I
off
don't know. I have never tried to switch off the media because it's my way of life and
Yes.
work. My
Then how
work
would you
depends on-
experience the world if not through the media?
Um,
How would you even know, Jędrek, that the world exists, that you're not
What?
on,
I mean,
on an
okay,
island
but,
called
it's
talking on
Manos.
the marché with the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, of course,
okay.
locally, living locally, and I think that my local score, because I agree with you, I would rate the world like below 5 for sure. But the local, I think, my life here locally, doing the shopping locally and so on, I think I would rate it pretty high, like strong 7, if not higher. I mean, this is also affected by the weather. It's funny, but we've had a lot of rain recently. Like each day there was a storm with heavy rain. So I guess, it feels, and it's relatively cold for June in Provence, because it's today, I think the maximum temperature is supposed to be 23. So what is that? I mean, it's like, what is 23 in the south of France? Yes, but I guess I would, I think my I'm definitely affected by the news, by what's happening in Ukraine, in Europe, in Poland, in France. yesterday was a horrible attack. You probably heard, I know, Masha, if it
Mhm.
reached you, yeah.
Mhm.
So stuff like that,
Is it far
definitely.
from you?
Annecy is not so far. Actually, when I'm going back home to Poland, when
Mhm.
we drive through Annecy. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a touristic destination. You know, it's a tourist destination with a lot of it's a beautiful lake and a lot of people. We stopped once and
Mhm.
we actually left much more tired. We thought that we could rest, but you know, with the tourists and
Mhm.
everybody, it's like it's. But this thing aside, you know, it's a horrible crime that was committed yesterday, and news like that definitely impact the way I see, you know, everything, the world. Yeah, Masha, I don't know about you. I didn't ask you. I'm afraid to ask. How do you rate the world? It's like, all right.
Yeah, when you
You
said
don't have to
local,
answer
yes,
it. You
I
don't have
think
to. You don't have to answer.
I immediately think of, right now I'm in the country and it's very quiet here. But what happens is I wake up and I know when I go to bed already, I know this is how it works in Ukraine. You already know that, okay, during the night there will be another attack. We get a warning. And so I go to bed, I know that there will be an attack, and I wake up and I immediately, check the news. And last night it was some maybe 70 kilometers, maybe even 50 away from my house here in the country. The remains, as far as I know, the remains of a rocket or a drone fell on. It's a little settlement actually, and some people even died. So you wake up, you get the picture of, big picture.
Yeah.
And then I leave my, sorry for such details, but my house is very old and my toilet is outside. I
All
don't know
right.
if you're
Oh
familiar
wow,
with
that's an outhouse. It's called an
yeah, it's an
outhouse.
outhouse. Yeah, it's an
All
outhouse.
right.
So and I leave my house to, in the morning. That's what we do. And it's I counted, it's 40 steps. Well, because people count steps today. And I open the door and I take this local picture, this quietness, this birds are always, chirping in the morning.
Yeah.
And these 40 steps help me, to ground myself, I would say. I don't know, because otherwise you would just go mad. Yeah, we need
Yeah,
the
I think
local
I
picture.
got I know it's a private question. I hate that, but is we are much farther away from the war than Masha is, but does it affect you?
Oh, yes, of course. And I think about it every day. And we here in Poland are also in danger. I mean, it's the first time in our life, in my life, when I feel that everything can happen. And this is if is anything good in this situation in Ukraine, is that the whole world, European Union, United States, we are with Ukraine and we are together, and that Ukraine has so big support from the world. This is something what make me feel that this is possible, that this situation, the war, will end with the success for Ukraine and for us. But maybe not now, but in this first days of the war, I remember that when I talked with my friends, we are thinking about, oh my God, I don't have a passport. I should have a baggage with the most important documents, things, battery, phone, and lighter, and something like that. And we were absolutely prepared for leaving immediately from Poland.
It felt like, I mean, the first days and weeks, it felt like the danger is imminent. It's like it's coming, right? It's a matter of, because again, nobody expected Kiev to last longer than a week.
3
right?
days, yeah.
3 days exactly was the initial forecast, you know. All right, fine. So sorry, I know I don't know I opened this this subject, you know, but
Pandora box.
the Pandora box, yes. But Aga, we are here actually to pick your brains a little bit, you know, and why not? Why don't we go, Masha, to the thinking out loud a proper part, you know?
Let's do that.
So, all
Okay,
right.
let's go.
So, Masha, are you asking the question?
Okay. So the question for today, you know, Jandrik asked for some womanly question for some reason. First time, you know, I hear him separating questions. You know, these are for women. These are for
I need to explain. I need to explain
teenagers.
myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to explain myself a bit because you know, I have the feeling that if we get too like techie or talking about AI, talking about you know this kind of stuff, I guess we derail the profile of this podcast a bit, you know. So let's go. I know I called it a womanly question, but it's not.
Yeah, it's actually not.
I got in a lot of trouble once when I mentioned this at a conference in Paris, when I said that certain conversation questions are masculine and certain are feminine, which I didn't mean like they are for women or for men.
Yeah.
But their character, you know. But
yes.
Oh my God, I got in a lot of trouble. Fine, Masha,
I can imagine.
Away. Yeah, fire away. Ask the question. You know, Aga's here and she's waiting.
So, do you think compliments can improve self-esteem?
Compliments. I have a problem with compliments because, of course, it's very nice to hear compliment, but sometimes I feel that which compliment is honest and which compliment is not very much honest, but
Flattery,
maybe someone use it to make me do something.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And you know, so of course I think it's very nice, and it can be important for us, for our self-confidence, but I think the most important thing is to know when this compliment is honest and really good for us, and don't be worried about this second one, which maybe is not so very honest and just to make us like this person much or something like that. So,
but this radar this radar that you have, that you kind of distinguish, you know, okay, this is like an honest compliment. This is some kind of a trick. This is your empathy, basically, or
I think so. You know? I think it's emotional intelligence, and I don't know how feel other people about this, because honestly, I never talk about this with my friends. So the most important thing is to, of course, know how to react for the compliments also, because it's important to just say thank you, and we shouldn't do, oh my God, no, it's not true, I'm not so
yeah.
I'm not so good.
But this is this is our natural reaction. I mean, the people from the part of the world that we are all from, right, Masha? Because we have a problem to handle
Eastern European woman, you know, she comes to work looking fantastic. She starts getting compliments, you know, oh my God, this lovely dress, you look great. And you know what she says? Oh yeah, it's an old dress and I had nothing else to wear because everything else was dirty, you know. So we are even ashamed to admit that we make an effort, you know, to look good. Why is it so shameful? But that's
well, I'll tell you what, you know, I remember one day I was walking down the street in Warsaw, and it was exactly on the day when I changed my glasses. You know what I'm talking about, because you are all wearing glasses, you know, and you know that when you change your glasses, you look different. I mean, you have a different face and so on. And honestly speaking, I didn't feel good with my new glasses, kind of, you know, and I was walking down the street and a foreigner stopped me asking for directions or something.
Mhm.
And then right before leaving, you know, he said, "Oh, nice glasses." And I was like, does he really mean it? Or do they really look so strange that people, you know, pay attention to it? Because, you know, and it was so strange to me to hear that. And, you know, it was on the first day wearing these glasses, you know, it's like, and I got, I don't
But you
have this
felt
radar.
better when you hear
I
it.
felt better. Yeah, I felt
Yes.
better for sure. But then I started to think, was it honest? Was it not? You know, it's
Yes.
like,
Maybe the glasses were so, you know, conspicuous or whatever it was. Yeah. So what is it
all
that
right.
we don't want to stand out? It feels bad when you stand out, or
Yes,
what is it?
I mostly feel uncomfortable when I heard compliments, and it's only sometimes when I really know that I look good. From time to time on the special occasion, it's very nice to hear that some kind of compliments. But honestly, when I come to work and I'm just wearing normal things and I and this is, and suddenly someone telling me that, oh, you look great, and I know it's normal, not very special, and I don't feel very comfortable, and but I now I just say thank you and I move on and don't think a lot about this. So but in my contact with people, I'm trying to tell only honest compliments, because I always afraid that if this not something what I really think about this person, this person will see it on my face.
You're
Yeah,
not a good
yeah,
liar.
but
Yeah.
Because sometimes you feel that you should say something like that to build a good relation,
To
I
be
don't know, with
polite. Yeah.
and with other, yes, and I feel sometimes this that someone expect from me compliments, and but even then I try to not to tell not honest compliments.
But you know, it's funny. I don't know if you will kind of subscribe to what I say, but I have a problem to accept compliments naturally, but I also have a problem to share compliments. I mean, to pay them, because I've got one particular situation right now. My son loves his English classes with his teacher. And really, like, you know, every day, because if I will just briefly tell you the situation. He's going to an international school. 2 days are in the French language, 2 days in English, right? And the 5th day is off, because in France there are only 4 days
Okay.
at school. So every time, and it's like Monday is English, Tuesday is French, Thursday is English, Friday is French. And every time he's asking, what's today? Because he's 6 years old. He doesn't know which day it is of the week. And he's asking, is it French or is it English? And every time I say it's English, like, yes, he loves that class. And at the same time, when it's the French, it's like, oh, I hate French and I hate this class. I hate the teachers asking difficult questions and so on. And I feel right now, and I have to do it. I know the end of the school year is approaching. I should honestly buy flowers, especially to that English teacher, and tell her that my son loves your classes. He loves he simply loves you in a way, as a teacher,
Yeah.
and the classes that you run.
But
and I should have told her that long time ago, because it's been the whole year he's telling us this. I love English. English is great. I love the class. And she should know it, because if I leave her without this knowledge, that would be a huge, I don't know what's I don't even know how to call that, if I keep it to myself, and if we keep it in our family, because I don't believe that my son is telling his teacher that, I love your classes. No, probably not.
No.
Maybe she can feel it, but he's not saying
But it's
it.
nice to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I need to pay this compliment. I mean, is it a compliment?
It's not only compliment, because
Yeah.
this is something, this is the situation
It's
when
feedback.
I will say that this is a feedback. very important feedback for her that she's doing great job and she should go this path in the future, because it's good idea of
You're right. It's
working
not
with
so
child.
much. Yeah, I mean, it's nice, but we have to separate feedback from compliments, I guess, because
Yes,
what I've got is rather
absolutely.
feedback. You're right, because it's honestly what my son is telling me each day, that he loves English classes.
But
Feedback is the
compliments is
best way to
kind of
tell
feedback, no?
compliments, in my opinion, because it's in the idea of the feedback is to be honest, and feedback can be good, positive, that you were great about something, but feedback should be also negative if it's necessary, that okay, that was great, but in this part of your job or life or private situation, you did wrong. You shouldn't say something, or you shouldn't do something because maybe you hurt someone. And there is not many people who like feedback and who understand
especially
how it works.
Yeah.
And I love feedback. It's absolutely great, and it's best for me. And I prefer a lot much.
Even the negative.
Yes, mostly negative. I'm strange person, and I really need to hear that I do something wrong, and I did something wrong, because now after that I can I do better. I know what is my worst part of my working. So it helps to develop of the best quality and values at work.
Jędrek, you are nodding, but I heard you didn't believe in negative feedback.
Yeah, and is that, Masha, it's not like I don't believe in it, but I don't like it. I feel like, there's I mean, I don't like to give negative feedback, because I feel like it can affect self-confidence, self-esteem, and so on. But I know also that people want it. People always tell the teacher, correct me, tell me the right way to say things, or
because
and they expect
it can't be, it shouldn't be negative feedback is very important part of life, but it's important to good negative feedback. It never should be wrong for your confidence, for you as a person. It has to be with all respect to this person, to the employee. So maybe it's not, we shouldn't call it negative feedback, because feedback should be always positive. But sometimes you have to tell to someone that that you did something wrong, and next time you should do it just in the other way. So this is a very sensitive situation, and it needs a lot of knowledge and experience, and also emotional part of people.
Yeah, I feel like I see some risk because if you are in the position to give feedback, for example, you're a boss or a teacher or someone, then because this is also certain power, and it can be misused, I think, because if you keep throwing this negative, well, let's call it feedback, but in that you concentrate on the negatives, then you wield certain power over the person. Like, look, I'll tell you, this is what you do wrong, this wrong. And I don't like this situation in my classes where I'm superior to my students. I mean, in what kind of way, especially if we talk about things that maybe my students know more about than I know, and so on, and I'm afraid of the power that comes with the right to give feedback, especially critical. But I know that many people, especially in education, they expect correcting mistakes and so on, and which sort of means they expect negative
Yeah,
feedback.
this is where they come to you, you know, I can't imagine, for example, my driving instructor not telling me where I did wrong, you know, because otherwise it would be money and time, you know, wasted.
When is the next
Yes,
exam?
exactly.
Oh, good. And I remember this story, you know, when I was doing this teacher training course, this diploma, and we had a tutor, and after, you know, you teach, the tutor and your peers observe you, and then they give you feedback. And after 3 feedback sessions, positive feedback sessions, I was like, okay, I've had enough of it. And I approached her after the session and I told her, please understand, from in the part of the world where I come from, we need negative. I mean, I paid a lot of money for this course. If I'm so good, then what am I doing here? You know, tell me how you know, what I'm doing wrong. And she
Yes,
was really taken aback, although she's also from Eastern Europe. So Julie, if you're listening, hello. And she was like, but no, everything is fine. You know, this is how they are also trained to give feedback. You need to take, you know, this piece of crap and wrap it into a nice
it's called sandwich. It's called sandwich, right?
No, it's not even a sandwich. You know, I would be fine with a sandwich. It was just plainly, you know, disguised as something.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
So I specifically told her that I need negative, whatever you call it, negative feedback. So, but Jędrek is, yeah, I know he believes in the power of positive feedback.
No, I mean, it's not like, I think, yeah, positive feedback has certain power, the same like negative, right? But in my opinion, it can lift people's spirit, and it can truly lead to progress because of that. Simply, it's similar, Aga, in medicine, when I know the doctors can't lie to patients, right? Because I mean, they can't, but in certain cases they can use a white lie. And I know from my parents, you know, that sometimes a doctor sees the patient, and you know the patient doesn't look good, but the doctor says, "Ah, Mr. you know, Brown, Kowalski, you know, you look really better today." And it's not a medical statement,
Opinion.
right? It's opinion, yeah. It's just like, you know, you look better, and the patient starts thinking, "Oh, really? Do I look better?" And he starts fighting, and the next day, really, what really happens, there's progress, because whatever you may think, medicine is not only drugs and pharmacology, but it's also this, you know, psychological impact that sometimes a good doctor can have. I know, Aga, if you will agree.
Yes,
but
it's absolutely big subject. The communication between doctors and patients. It's a big subject, and this is something very, very important. Not only because of positive thinking, but also in the treatment in normal life, when you are diabetes or you have cardiology problems, because good communication between the doctor and patient means not only that I care about you, this emotional part of communication, to make patient feel comfortable and accepted, and that he is a partner to the doctor. But it's also about how well patient will understand the treatment process. How to take the pills, how to change the diet, how to change life to support this treatment, for example. And this is also a very important part of communication. And we have a lot of problems with that because
of the bureaucracy, I guess. Part of the reason is the bureaucracy.
Not only bureaucracy, of course, it's bureaucracy, because during the meeting with patient, doctor has to do a lot of things in
paperwork, like,
heart.
you know, yeah.
And
but
in Ukraine, an appointment is 15 minutes. I mean, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
but
I think it's a standard.
But
it's a
still, I
standard in
know
France,
that
the
during
same.
my visit, my doctor could do better with communication with me. It's sometimes small part, but the biggest problem is that people has better or worst communication qualification, and it's very personal thing. You can be very communicated in private life, and it's easy for you because you are a person very open and you like talk with other people. But we have people who are very shy. They don't like contact with other peoples, and its communication is difficult for them. And it's just personal, very personal.
But I wouldn't say that being shy, for example, is an obstacle on the way to becoming a doctor. You could be. I know. You know what? There is actually a doctor, my son's doctor, a pediatrist, who everybody in the nursery thinks, because she's not really smiling, and as a doctor who works with kids and she's not smiling, like she's not really good, right? Because she's not smiling. But I find her actually very professional, and she knows what she's doing. She's doing it, and I don't know, certain people, and definitely the staff from the nursery, they think of her like she's not really good because she's not smiling, because she's rather like serious, But to me, I don't know, it's definitely not, it's not a problem to me. I don't know, maybe I don't know. I know my parents are doctors, so maybe I also look at different things in doctors, not just the way they beautiful communication skills or something, right? But I think she's a matter of fact. She's doing what needs to be done, and I don't really think she's bad with children. Come on, I mean, she can easily influence, like the child is crying and she can make it stop, because she's got some trick.
Make it stop sounds very,
What? Stop crying?
You did no, but you didn't say she can comfort the child, but you chose this.
Okay.
She can make it stop. I know many ways how you can make it stop.
Yeah, exactly. But but what I mean is she's not holding the baby or whatever, singing songs, but she has certain influence. She can just move a toy like that, or something, and the kid is suddenly like, oh, it's time to stop crying.
Okay.
But I think it's
very good skills, I think, if she can do something like that.
But but on the outside, she's rather on the outside she's rather serious and not really smiling.
Stern, maybe even, yeah.
Stern, yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, you want what do you expect from a doctor? To smile to you, or to
once again, the experience,
the situation.
Yeah, I know from my experience, doctors have sometimes 40 patients per day, or
if you smile to everybody.
Yeah, and it's very hard to smile, I think, after the whole day, and then you visit the doctor at 5 p.m. when she's already KO, and she's done, and what she's supposed to be smiling and dancing. I totally understand that. That's why I don't even expect doctors to be like, but it's true, of course, because what the problem is, maybe again, I got maybe this honesty, just like this honest feedback, and the same here. Communication is the best when it's honest, when you really when you are who you are, when you are yourself, not someone else, like a product of some whatever training.
Yes, exactly. And of course, the most important thing is to be when it's with good intention, because sometimes people say something wrong, uncomfortable, and what they shouldn't say. But if you feel that this person is have good intention, and she cares about you, and she treats you with respect, it's not a problem, because we all make mistakes. but the honesty and good intention is something very important with in relationships with people, with boss, with doctor. Because we had a survey about how patients feel about doctors and visits, and the most important problem which we saw in this results of this survey was that Polish patients want to feel as a partner for doctor, not as a patent. I will say, I'm not sure is a correct word in English.
What is
today
I know
it's not even healthcare, it's providing a service, and it's like any other service, but it's not like
but
you
it's funny,
go
Masha, that in education you have a totally
the
different
same
approach.
No, it's the same today. It's so
the same thing?
commercialized. Teacher is supposed to be many things, smile, entertain, and whatever. It's like any other service today.
No, but Aga said that, with patients and doctors, they want to be partners. Okay, we speak on equal terms.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And with, I think, in education, maybe it's because of the system. People want. I have the feeling that they don't want to be partners with teachers, but they want to be their students. You follow me, you tell me the right way. It's about this. Correct my mistakes, and I have this feeling that many people still expect the teacher to be superior, not to be a partner, but to be superior. You are the teacher.
But what do you mean superior? You expect your teacher to know more, at least about the subject you're studying, right?
I expect my doctor to know more about medicine than I.
Yeah, but then what do you mean a partner? If you start negotiating your treatment with the doctor?
No. But I don't like when I go to the doctor and I have no space to ask question, to say what I'm thinking about my my sickness, and sometimes is when you go to the doctor and he didn't talk with you at all.
He treats you as as a body with a problem, like this.
Yeah. Yes, because
not a human being.
I read a lot. Of course I'm not after the medicine university, but my awareness about my health is big, and I would like to talk with doctor about this. What I feel, what I see in my body is a problem, and why he decided to give me these medicines, not others. I would like to know all these things, and for sometimes for doctors it's a problem because they think that I'm a doctor, I'm after the medicine, and of course I know better, and of course it's true, but still I need to understand why he decided to treat me this way. Because this is very important. When you believe in this treatment, you understand why you take this pills.
It works better, right?
Of course, absolutely. And we have
the same, Masha, with teaching methods.
Yes, and it's a lot of problems with this, that people take pills in not correct way. They make mistakes, and this have even the name of this problem in healthcare, but in medicine I don't remember right now. But the problem is so big that people don't take it with the subscription from a doctor, and the treatment is wrong. They have complications in this process. So this is very, very important. For example, antibiotics. You have to understand that you have to take all these pills which you received from
because it's
doctor.
a treatment. It's a treatment that continues even if you feel good already.
Exactly, because you have to kill all the bacteria in your organism. Because if you didn't, they will survive, and 3 weeks
will
later you will
back,
be sick again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's-
But you
But
know,
there
it's
must be a
funny.
balance here, you know, because I would, if we had a doctor right now here, you would hear how fed up they are sometimes with Google educated patients who tell
Yeah,
them, you know, but I read about this drug, this and this, and I read about this, and these doctors are like, oh my God, you know, just stop. So,
yeah, exactly. You know, this is also you know, a skill to navigate that kind of knowledge or pseudo knowledge, right? And how to make the patient
yeah.
follow your right, your path. But
But
it's I'm lucky, you know, because I'm in France and I don't understand a lot of the language still. And I remember, but I don't know, Aga, maybe the situation is a bit different in stomatology, where, you know, this is basically a privatized a sector, right?
yes,
And it
yes.
works a bit different than public healthcare, for sure. But I remember when I had a problem and I was visiting the dentist, and they were really carefully explaining what are they going to
Yeah.
do, you know, and so on. I was like, I don't understand at all, you know. I was just nodding my head, okay, ça va, you know.
So,
Yeah. And you know, but I appreciate that they were trying to show me, you know, even using the monitor, you know, showing, because basically part of my tooth fell off, you know, and they needed to replace it with a glass whatever, you know, what's the name for prothesis or something like this, you know?
I don't
What's
know.
the name? Well, let me check in the
We have to
Google.
check
well,
it
but you
because
were,
I don't like
it's not,
stomatology.
you didn't appreciate this additional knowledge. What you appreciated is the way you were treated, like not like a piece of
Yeah,
meat, you
prosthesis
know,
or
But
denture.
you
Okay,
know
great.
why they are doing this? They are doing this because
because
most
they
of people are
charge
scared
a
very
fortune.
much. They
Yeah,
are very
yeah, you're right.
nervous. They are,
You're
and
right.
when you understand what they are
Yeah.
doing,
Yeah,
the
you're
situation
right.
is better. You are calm, and that's why the stomatologists are more open with these details, and they are speak a
Great
lot
point.
about this
Yes.
because
Yeah.
they see a lot of people who are crying, and you know,
Yeah,
this is
people are afraid.
stressful for them
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
If you understand what's going to happen, you're less scared, basically.
Or at
Yes.
least you see that the dentist is very confident, extremely
Yeah,
confident, and you
yeah.
just,
They know what they do, you know,
yeah,
let them do
let
it,
them
you
do
know.
their job.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's, by the way, very, let's say, intimate, you know, because they are, you know, kind of
Yeah. Oh
manipulating
my
in
God.
your mouth. It's kind of,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
fine.
So coming
I
back
would,
to the self-esteem, you know, and especially since, you know, we talked about Eastern Europe and how I think, and you mentioned a lot the sincerity, you know, the compliment must be sincere. But I think today it's so rare because we live at this, you know, era of political correctness, and you are expected to give compliments no matter if you feel like giving them and if you even feel that what you're saying is true. This is what is expected of you today. And that's why these sincere, true compliments, they have, I don't know, very rare. And that's why we people from Eastern Europe, I mean, if you know that you receive a compliment from an Eastern European, this is definitely true.
you smell a rat, you know, you
You
smell a rat.
you smell a rat when it comes from Westerner?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right.
Even there was
I,
even in course books there are usually, you know, when there's functional language or something like that, they teach you how to behave, you know, in this culture, you know, that you need to compliment on something in a person. You can always find something to compliment on. Oh, new shoes, you know, new glasses.
yeah. Great
And this is
glasses.
so against our, I don't know,
DNA. It's against our DNA, honestly,
I
you know.
don't
It's against,
Yes,
yeah,
a little, but it's that there is one more problem with the compliments. Now, when I hear you, I understand that this is the difference when you say compliment in the private situation or in a business situation at work. Because of course, when men, when we meet and we go to the supper, will say, "Oh, how wonderful you look tonight." I don't care, is it true or not? It's nice to hear it.
You're right.
And when my friend will tell me that oh, how nice shoes you have when we meet on the lunch. But at work, I think it's mostly uncomfortable, and you never know how to react. Is it honest? And I think that we shouldn't at work say some about compliments about your private situation, your person,
your
as a
look,
person.
exactly,
how you look, how
your
you
possessions, you know, what you
Yes.
have, some, I know, jewelry or whatever, iPhone, you know.
Yes, exactly. And I would like to hear from my friend that was good job, or you do find nice post on LinkedIn or something like that. It's the best compliment at work. And
is there?
even
I wanted to ask you. Oh, sorry,
Go
Masha,
ahead.
go on.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, fine, thank you. I wanted to ask Aga. Aga, do you think that that it's possible to build a very solid and stable self-esteem, or do you think this is constantly like a, you know, like a sinusoid? You know, sometimes you feel great, sometimes you feel down. What do you think? Is it possible to build a solid self-esteem?
No, the life is it's impossible, because life is not constant, and you have better or worse day, and you sometimes you have success, sometimes you failed. So it's absolutely impossible. But the most important thing, I believe, in every part of our life is to think positive, see the chances, not the problems, and be open for other people, be open also for negative opinion, to especially in our social media time. You have to be prepared for some hate and so not nice comments, and we have to build something around our confidence, self-confidence, to feel strong, even if someone wants to hurt you or just
Super
ask the
important
question
today.
which
Super
you
important.
don't like. But positive thinking, seeing chances, not problems, it's something what very help in life to make the sinusoid more up than low.
Or at least you're right, or to like minimize those down moments, right?
Yes, and
because
you have
they
to
are especially
remember
dangerous.
when you have bad days or bad part of life, because I have something in my life that the part of few years weren't very well for me. But what helped me in these days to be there, and that I was remembered that okay, now it's not very good for me time of my life, but I know that in the future that will be better if I believe it, if I do something to help change my life. The future will be better than now, and it's very helpful, I think.
Yeah, good times will come was the writing on I think the what was that, some kind of a ring that they found at the body of Percy Shelley. Percy Shelley was the husband of Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein, and he had a really crazy life, you know, and they found his body at the bottom of the sea after some, you know, accident. And yeah, they found this ring with this writing engraved, you know, good times will come.
Exactly.
Right. But I want to say that it's extremely, I think, important, and it's a task maybe also for the education today, to build some kind of value, right? That is pretty much stable, and and also the ability to take a step back is super important. Like you said, you have a worst period in your life, but you need to be able to take one step back and look at it from a different perspective. And I think this skill is super important today. Take a step back, don't live at the moment now when you feel down or whatever, right? But I don't know, it's a rare skill, I think, to take a step back. How do you teach that? I mean, Masha, how do you teach taking a step back? It's and I'm not talking about sports, but but you just take a step back. It's super hard, I think, to teach, because you
I
need
don't
to
even know
build.
if it's teachable.
But it's a problem with management. I'm sorry.
Go on.
Because there are trainings, and not maybe trainings, but some kind of keynote speeches about how to. It's also psychological thing that people in leaders of the teams, they have mostly they have a big problem when they have a project, and in the middle of this project everyone understands that it's not good project. We didn't reach the goals we should have in this time after a few months work. And the most important thing in management is to decide, okay, we quit. We have to quit now.
Yeah.
Because more
Cut your
time
losses,
of our people, more money will not
This
fix
is super
this.
difficult. This is super difficult to do. Yeah.
Super difficult. And when you think about private life, we have the same problems. Why sometimes it's so difficult to quit from the relationship with boyfriend?
Yeah.
Because we put so many emotions, time, and expectation to this relationship that you want to believe that maybe 1 month, maybe 2 more months make it better. Mostly it never happens. And you save the time if you quit in the right moment. The time, the money, the emotions, a lot of different things you save if you quit the project when you understand, in the moment when you understand it not went well, or it not went as you
I feel like it's a great observation, Aga. I feel like it's even a subject for another hour of conversation. But again, also this treating like personal life a bit like professional life, because if you think about relationship, I'm not so sure if you can treat it like a project, right? Because
if
we
you
are dealing
did,
with humans.
it would be much easier if you
It
treated
would be
your
easier.
relationship
Yes,
like a
It
project.
would be easier, but at the same time, it's there are a lot of well, it's a subject, it's a vast subject, for another conversation, maybe.
Sorry.
No, it's great, Aga, it's great. Thanks a lot for bringing this up. It's fantastic.
Yes, because it's fascinating when I discovered it because on the TED Talk, I was so surprised, and oh my God, I were in so many situations like this, and really I have the same problems. And so that was something what surprised me, and it's very interesting.
Great. Masha, I guess it's time to wrap up slowly, because I know you have to run to have another class,
It's time, to wrap up, but I wish we had more time, actually. I also wanted to say, what helps me, and I'm terrible at receiving feedback, but what helps me is that,
Oh, yes, you are.
When somebody tells you, for example, you're a bad driver, it's only, you're not only a driver in your life. You're a whole person. You're a driver, a teacher. When somebody tells you you're a bad podcaster, okay, that's just a part of my life, but it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means that this particular
core.
well, unless you, I don't know, kill somebody, and then you are a bad person. But usually it's a skill, some kind of skill, which is underdeveloped, or you need to like take a step back and think, okay, it's not me. This feedback is not aimed at me as a person. It's aimed at
Yeah.
this particular part, of your personality. And this, at least, is supposed to help. Not always.
Well,
Yes,
Masha,
absolutely. That's-
Masha, we keep our fingers crossed for your driving license, because we know that you are still in the process. I failed 7 times. Come on, it's like
I don't
what?
remember how many, but I had the problems also.
So
Few
look at
times.
this. Yeah. So it's
Thank
never like, one time.
People,
Yeah. So
please
Masha,
write in the comments this time. Please, I really need it. How many
yeah,
times you
support
failed your
Masha,
driving?
because she
Support.
because you already had
Yeah.
a couple of attempts, but I had
Yeah.
7. Honestly, I had 7.
Just a number. You don't need to write anything else. It can be anonymous. Just a number. I hope that this time we'll collect lots of comments under.
Okay, after our meeting, I will count.
Okay.
All right,
So,
great. Right. I know, Aga, if you listen to this podcast on Spotify, but on Spotify you can actually comment below, I guess, or on YouTube.
on
Right now
YouTube,
with the new
yeah.
channel.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Aga, for coming today, for being with us. Thank you, people who stayed with us till the end of the episode. This was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud. And stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It was a
Thanks.
pleasure.
Bye.